Welcome to Sports Talk.
Welcome on Nick.
I'm Mike.
We'll talk about sports. Today we're going over the 2021 NFL Draft Grade for the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, here we go. Let's just hop right into this. Raiders 2021, John Gruden, Mike Mayock do another interesting first-round pick. We both know that. You know my opinion on the pick. I'm a Raiders fan. For those of you that don't know that, most of you guys know that by now. What do you think? I'll give my take right after this, but go ahead. What do you think about the first pick in Alice Leatherwood?
I don't like it at all. I haven't really cared for a first pick since John Gruden has been here, to be honest, Raiders fans. I'm sure a lot of you probably agree with me. A lot of you probably will argue with me, but a lot of you will probably agree with me. The true, real-hearted Raiders fans probably haven't really loved the drafts either. Alex Leatherwood was a reach. Any way you want to look at it, I believe Alex Leatherwood was a reach at pick 17. He's a run-blocking offensive tackle, which fits for the Raiders. But he's a run-blocking offensive tackle that me and Nick were talking about the other day. He takes plays off. Like, you got to be bulldozing your guy into the ground every single play if you're going to specialize as a run blocker, because this Raiders team is going to pound the rock. We know they're going to pound the rock. Although not everything is terrible. He's got a good skill set. He's got a great size. I think he's 6'5", 315, something around there. He's got a good size to him, and he moves well for his size, to be honest with you. But he's going to scare the hell out of me in the pass game, and he's got to stop being so lazy. I'm just going to come right out and say it. It looks as times where his motor isn't as good as you want his motor to be. You want a guy to have a killer instinct and go out there and not stop until he can't go anymore. Alex Leatherwood, I've seen you take plays off. I'm just going to come out and say it right here.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the exact conversation I had with you the other day, is that the main thing I saw about this guy in my notes, I written down a good run blocker. Now, remember, this is before the Raiders drafted him, okay? I did all this well before he got drafted anywhere, and I was praying that night that we were going to take Moehrig, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, one of the other offensive tackles I liked. And when I heard this, it was kind of disappointing. You remember, I mean, I did a live draft show, and me and Greg were on there, and you can see my reaction. I said a good run blocker, but who cannot block the fast finesse edge rushers, right? Fast finesse guys. Beat him in the pass game. That's concerning. Did not expect him to go out and help the quarterback at all either. Why are these in my notes? First round offensive tackle, and I literally say in my notes, do not expect him to go out and help the quarterback at all. This is me mocking the guy, me making fun of him because how bad he was in the pass game. I said because when he can, he takes the play off. If he does not have to block no one, then he won't. And the film I watched him most of the time was left tackle. Now, I watched Sanjeet for you guys that watched him. Look, big fan of his. Mitchell Renz, all these guys. Raider Honcho, big fan of his. Just watched him do something the other day. All these Raiders YouTubers. Ray the Tape's another great one. I watch all those guys, okay? And I listen to their takes. And a lot of times people want to sugarcoat things. And look, Mike, you know me. You guys say I'm very overprotective with Derek Carr. But when it comes to drafting like this Alex Leatherwood pick, I come straight out and just say, I think this is bad. You want to talk about quarterback.
Not a good pick.
You're right. I don't think so either. Now, what it can be, what can it be? We got Tom Cable. We got this, that. They keep on saying, oh, the size. They're drooling over the size. Well, let me tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. He's 6'5", which ranks 44th percentile for offensive tackles. 44th, which means...
Nick, let me interrupt you for 1 second. They're drooling over the size because there's really nothing else to drool over.
You're right. But Mike, there's no size. That's what size? 44th percentile in height, 45th percentile in weight, 90th percentile in wingspan. He is wide, but arm length, he's 37th percentile. Hand size, 12th percentile. So he is athletic, okay? Yes, 91st percentile in 40-yard dash, 97th percentile in vertical. Reminds me of Colton Miller in that aspect. But know what, though? Know what he's not? When we drafted, and you remember me, everyone says, oh, Nick, you're upset when we took Colton Miller. I wasn't upset that we took Colton Miller. I was upset that we traded down and didn't take Minkah Fitzpatrick, who was on the board, and that was before the draft happened. Now you go back and look at it. Colton Miller never said I hated the guy. I just didn't think that he was better than Minkah Fitzpatrick. I thought Minkah Fitzpatrick, he would still be here right now playing for us. Colton Miller still is too. So it was a hell of a pick. Very flexible in the hips. Got to have flexible hips if you want to be an offensive tackle. Get out there, be flexibility is key for an offensive tackle. Alex Leatherwood's not that flexible. Athletic, yes. Powerful guy, kind of. Blows people back, absolutely. But again, I say it time and time again, John Gruden is the coach and can probably pump this in his head. Do not take a damn play off. He was my 12th ranked offensive tackle. We took him in the first round. I had him as a C- just because the scheme fit. That's still a bad pick. And there's even a worse pick that I have at the Vikings. They took Christian Dorsal after us, who I really didn't like. But let me just say this real fast for the Raiders fans, guys, because you're probably going to be like, well, then who would you have taken? Well, here's who I would have taken. I would have taken Liam Eichenberg, Tevin Jenkins. Everyone's going to say, oh, Tevin Jenkins. Yeah, no, I actually like Tevin Jenkins better. I watched this film. I watched tape, okay? I coach for, I know what I'm looking for. Dylan Radduns. I loved him from your boy's school, Trey Lance's school. Jackson Carman, Samuel Cosme, James Hudson, Jalen Mayfield, Spencer Brown, Brendan James, and then Alex Leatherwood. Go ahead.
Radduns was great in the run game.
Yeah, I liked all those guys before Leatherwood, and we take Leatherwood. I can't stand laziness. If you don't want to play, get the hell off the field. That's what. But oh God, Mike, it just frustrates me.
I think we got to move to the next pick before you have a hard.
Trevon Moehrig, go ahead.
Now this is the complete opposite. I love Trevon Moehrig. I think this is a good pick. Arguably could have been a first-round pick, but you know how NFL values safeties. Unless you're an absolute superstar, you're not going to get taken early. But Trevon Moehrig can be a very good player. There's really nothing he can't do. He's very, very good. He's a physical tackler. He will light you up. He will absolutely light you up. He can cover. He's a good run defender. He's just good all around. And this is a perfect pick for the Raiders because the Raiders need that defender that's going to make a difference because they don't have one. They got Abram, who just runs crazy. Like, Abram is over-aggressive. I think Trevon Moehrig is going to be the guy that is going to make a big difference on this Raiders defense this season. I love this pick.
Absolutely. And you know how much I like Trevon Moehrig. He was my number one ranked safety. I had it between him and Holland, right? A safety who can cover in both man and zone defenses. He's very flexible as he lays all out to break up passes. Again, this guy goes out, hands up, deflecting a pass, laying out this way, swatting one down. Really good. What's that?
He's got a high motor, but he's smart with it. He's not like
I agree, right? So that's that, right? You look at his arm length, it's not really great either. It's actually the 17th percentile. It seems like he uses his arms well, surprisingly. He looks lengthy to me. But like I said, he's very flexible, lays all out to break up passes, great at deflecting balls, pretty good hitting as well. The only issue that scares me, he does not seem to cut routes enough. What I mean by that is cut in front of a receiver, right? Jump the route. Doesn't do that often. He usually just sits in his post set. I mean, he can play that cover 3 that Gus Bradley's going to want to play him.
But he wants to. If you wanted a guy, Javon Holland was the one that was going to jump routes and do this and that. Moehrig wants to hit you.
Yeah.
That's the way he wants to play football, and I like that.
You're right, but in a sense, I'll be honest with you. That's the part that I got fooled with. I actually had Javon Holland as more of a hitter. At the end of my rankings, I did have Moehrig, but when I went back and watched Holland, that's why Holland started really rising up my board.
Holland can hit.
Holland was surprisingly
phenomenal at jumping routes.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Honestly, when I look at my sheet here, I have them both tied in man and zone. I have Holland as a better ball hawk, but Moehrig I have ranked higher in deflecting passes, his flexibility I have higher, and his deep routes, meaning the deep ball. Those areas I got Holland higher in is hitting, tackling, and ball hawking. Okay, so Moehrig, in my opinion, is that guy that can go up, deflect the pass, very flexible, all those things. I still love the pick. A big fan of this pick. My number one safety, I rate this pick a B+. Let's go on to the next guy, Malcolm Coombs.
I didn't scout Malcolm Coombs.
I didn't scout him either from what I know. And you guys watch Sanjeet and all these guys. He's very similar to Yannick Ngakoue's passing style. Supposedly he's a pure pass rusher. Just try and get depth there. Again, I'm not going to go into detail here because I didn't scout him and I don't go into grading people that don't scout, and that's guy Divine Diablo.
Okay, I did scout Divine Diablo. I believe when I scouted him, he was listed as a safety. So he's another one of them safety linebacker hybrid type guys. I like this pick, to be honest with you. I think he'll fit this defense good just to give the Raiders some depth because the Raiders linebackers are just so up in the air. You don't know what it's going to be this season. I think he tackles well. He's very strong, holds up well in the box, closes out on the running back very well. The one thing he scares me is a little heavy footed. So like I can see he can get away covering the tight end, but he might have a harder time against a guy that's a little more shiftier and is a phenomenal route runner and quick. He might have a little bit more of a hard time, but I like him. I like he plays hard and he brings consistency, and that's what the Raiders need on defense.
Yeah, especially at the linebacker position, right? And again, I didn't scout Divine Diablo either. I scouted 250 guys. Unfortunately, most of the players the Raiders drafted, I didn't scout. But from the tape I did see on Divine Diablo after the draft, I am impressed with what he does. And I'm hoping that he's good. But again, I didn't scout him, so I can't put a grade on him. Next guy, Tyree Gillespie. Did you scout him?
No.
I did scout him. Okay. I said, this guy, though, let me tell you something. When I try to find, now again, I find my big board. Don't know who the Raiders are going to scout. I mean, draft. So I don't, go bias. So when I scouted him, I said another guy there just ain't that much film on. Okay, I said he seems like he can tackle well, but do not see him a lot in coverage. Although he does have the speed, so he's fast. I saw on the little bit of film I saw, I said he's fast. I don't see him a lot in coverage, but he can tackle. Okay. And supposedly there's something that, and I think it's his athleticism that Mike Mayock was drooling over, and that's why we drafted him. He said, oh, yeah, he was very good, and he was still on the board, so we had to take him. Another safety we're drafting, we got Carl Joseph, we got Trevon Moehrig, we got Jonathan Abram, we got Tyree Gillespie, we got Trevon Moehrig. We got a lot of safeties, okay? And adding another one, we'll see what Tyree Gillespie can do. I'm hoping for the best. Didn't watch a lot of film on him, but what I did see, it's a little bit unfair because there wasn't a lot. I give rank him as my 12th ranked safety, which I think it was 12th out of 13. And I'd give him a C. I give this grade a C+. It was later in the draft. We still need some depth at safety. Not a lot, but I guess we're just taking a shot here. I don't know. C+ for that one. I'm not going to knock the pictures. I really don't know the guy that much. If I did, I would have a lot more notes on him. Didn't have a lot of notes on him. It's kind of a question mark to me. Nate Hobbs.
No.
He's actually potentially going to win the slot cornerback position for the Raiders, but I did not scout him. He didn't make my cut. And Jimmy Morrissey.
I know the name, but I don't believe I scouted him.
I didn't scout him either. Again, I saw stuff afterwards, Raiders fans. We all watch the same people. Didn't scout him pre-draft. I only talked about the guys I scouted pre-draft. Mike, overall draft grade for the Las Vegas Raiders.
All right, Las Vegas. I look at it like this. I like Divine Diablo. I was a fan of him when I watched his tape. I liked Moehrig. Other than that, I did not really care for your draft at all. I think you reached in the first round again. I think Las Vegas Raiders, I'm going to give you a C. I think you could have improved in the first round. You keep disappointing me in the first round of your drafts, and it's showing. Cleve Farrell might not even get on the field this year. You don't want a number 4 overall pick not to get on the field. So I've been disappointed with what you've been doing in the first round. C.
Yeah. And look, I know Cleve will play. It's just, is he going to live up to that hype? And a lot of people want to say, oh, well, look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen was hurt last year too. But to me, he was better scheme fit for or Gunther, and all this stuff. High character, high motor. I don't give a rat's ass. You draft the best player. At the time, I had Ed Oliver and Josh Allen as my top 2 guys for the Raiders to draft. We going to take Cleve Farrell. Well, he's playing better. I don't mind Cleve Farrell personally, but we got to see more overall, like just all around. You got Solomon Thomas inside. Everyone's hating on Solomon Thomas. I love the signing. You got Jonathan Hankins, who they're saying probably is going to get a starting spot. And then on the outside, Yannick Ngakoue, Mad Max Crosby, and could Cleve Farrell be playing that Leo position? That's been the question. Or we just don't know. We don't know. If you'd be playing outside, what?
These last few years, the values in the first round have been horrible.
Yeah.
This draft, in my opinion, I gave it a C. It was C+ borderline. I'm leaning C because of the frustration in the last 3 years.
Yeah, well, I do individually, but I understand.
I'm just
yes,
busting.
I know. I'm gonna go with a C+, and like that's what I have written down on my paper. It's just, to me, off the guys I scouted: Leatherwood, Moehrig, and Gillespie. Those are the 3 guys that scouted pre-draft. Leatherwood, definitely a reach, but I understand scheme fit. I give that a C-. Trevon Moehrig, first-round talent. We get him in the 2nd round. Good pick. And then you go and you get Tyree Gillespie later. Questionable, but he's a good athlete. Maybe he'll live up to be something. We'll have to wait and see. The other picks are the ones I'm actually kind of excited about now because I started watching more and more film on them, but I can't be biased and rank them. So just off those 3 picks, I give it a C+. One of the lower grades I've given out of all the 32 NFL teams. Hoping they can prove me wrong, but we'll have to wait to see. Raiders fans, for more content, coaching grades, we got our, division rankings, and we got our a bunch of debates coming up soon too. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe for you guys not to miss out on a damn thing. Stay tuned. I know I'm gonna have a lot of Raiders stuff on here.
We can talk about the Raiders. I got a couple things I want to say. To be honest,
Yeah.
I got a couple statements that might surprise people.
Absolutely. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. We are.
Feel better.
See you guys soon. Peace.